All right, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down and analyzing my live sales call. So where I closed. All right, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down and analyzing a live sales call that I closed for $3,000. So let's just get started. All right, this is a live sales call. The goal is $3,000. Let's go. Ron?
Yeah?
Let's go, baby.
Good fucking work. Okay, all in a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. We were in Spain. Jacob.
Morning, George.
Morning, Jacob. How's it going?
I'm very well. How's Spain treating you, my friend?
Oh, Spain is treating me not bad. Yeah. too much partying, but I think soon it's time to go home.
I hear you. Hey, so, sometimes you gotta earn your partying. I know you have been a fan of that, the cold plunge and getting after it every day. So I'm very happy that you are taking some time off, enjoying yourself, and
So this is the first thing that I want to emphasize is he mentioned that he knows I do cold plunges, right? So clearly he has been listening to the podcasts. So what I learned is that the more the prospect knows you, the more they trust you, the more content they consume from you, right, the easier the transaction is going to be, right? If someone is just jumping on a call and they have no idea, maybe they just came from an ad or something, you can still close them, but the conversion rate is going to be much lower. If, however, they've been listening to the podcast, someone says is like, they need to consume at least 7 hours of content before they buy from you. So that could be true. I don't know the exact numbers, but I've basically learned that the more they know you, right, the more they trust you, and the easier the purchase happens. So that's the first thing. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. It seems like you kind of are familiar with myself, like with me. How do you know me? Or how did you find out about me?
Yeah, so I've been into YouTube automation, or at least wanting to get into it this year. I stumbled upon yours and Ron's podcast.
Yeah.
I've been listening to it for a while, so I'm kind of going from the informational gathering stage into the implementation portion of it.
Yeah.
From what I've gathered from your podcast and styles of YouTube earnings, it seems for me that search is kind of the way that I'm looking.
Right.
And hey, I want to say also, as a salesman, to another salesman, I appreciate your qualifying call. I like all these little sales tactics, right? It's great.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. So I'm here to see what your pitch is.
Yeah.
How can we help each other?
Yeah.
And kind of what the process would be moving forward.
Yeah, perfect. So, you probably are familiar with the podcast, so you know that we are looking for just a few people because we want to keep it small, to keep it manageable, because once the community grows, it becomes harder to manage people. So, like I mentioned in some of the episodes, I'm looking for dedicated people who want to, take the search thing to make it actually work for themselves. Okay. So here what I'm saying is I'm saying two things, right? So first, I'm kind of prompting him to be like, hey, I only talk to, serious qualified leads, prospects, right? People who want to join the program. That's the first thing. And then the second thing I'm saying is also the scarcity that, we are only taking so many people, right? The basics of supply and demand of economics is that, the price is going to go up soon, right? Because more and more people want to join the program. So it's only natural that if we want to keep it, manageable. But basically, if you have more demand, you increase the price, right? As you increase the price, the demand is going to go slightly down. So you want to reach that sweet point where, you have enough demand and you're not, charging too little. So that's the idea here. Not just everyone. All right. Jacob, very nice to meet you. Thanks for rescheduling the call, by the way. I really appreciate that as well. So let's see where we are, where you are. How can I help you? If I can help you, great. At the end, I'll show you the presentation that I have prepared as well. So you mentioned that. So this is a bit of too free-flowing, right? The way I said it. Now I say it more structured, so I have a more structure to it. Hey, so this is how the call is going to go. We're going to ask you some questions to identify where you are, and then at the end, it's kind of the same thing what I was saying here. But nowadays, I just have a proper script, a proper structure to it. Because, by the way, keep in mind, everything in this call was freestyled. I mean, I had some ideas for the questions that I wanted to ask him, but it was a lot of freestyling, just kind of naturally talking to a person and persuading them into, getting into my program. YouTube automation. This year, discovered the podcast. You were in the information gathering stage. How long was that, and what triggered you now to go into the implementation stage?
So I made one of my New Year's resolutions was to find a new stream of income.
Okay.
And so as I was looking into things, what side hustle was best for me. I'm at my computer most of the day, so I figured, a few extra hours getting to put some YouTube videos out there. It's something that I was absolutely looking to do. As far as the implementation phase, I guess I have an idea of what I want to do, right? But I'm all about the monkey see, monkey do, right? I would rather have a mentor to show me exactly what's kind of going on because I'm looking at the particular roles inside of the YouTube video itself, right? And I want to kind of feel, obviously keyword research is going to be one of those main things that I'm going to keep to myself, but I wanted to know maybe along the beginning portion of this journey, what jobs would I need to get best at to maybe mitigate some of those costs, and then how or what would be the best way in searching for other freelancers, what to look for, how to particularly set up contracts, because I've been looking like on Fiverr.
So here what I'm looking for, you can see that I'm taking notes. What I'm looking for is I'm just looking for kind of keywords that stand out to me. So he said, for example, freelancers, right? I know that's a common thing. So I take a note of that, Then he said something else, like a new stream of income, and this is my new resolution. Probably it's a good thing to take a note because you want to speak the language of the person that is talking to you, right? Because they might say new stream of income, and in your head you're thinking, business venture. They might not resonate with business venture as much. So you basically want to take note of the exact words they say to you, right? And repeat back to them either, throughout the conversation, because that way they feel heard.
For thumbnail designers, for video editors, a lot of the time they're based on like hours worked versus videos made. And so I'm kind of looking for what the administrative side looks like in order to get a proper team and kind of continue forward. I know at the beginning I would prefer to invest a smaller amount each month and then eventually kind of build up to there. So with the implementation process, I would like to at least start getting it in the next couple of months, so the new year I can really kind of get out there and do it more and more often to eventually, what's the dream, right? We replace our job, we travel full time, what you're doing now. And, and I'm not looking to necessarily make hundreds of thousands of dollars. If I could, anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 a month, I think would be pretty enjoyable, feasible, and I don't care about the timeline. As you said, it's digital real estate, so, best time to plant a tree was when?
Back then.
So this is a very good sign. This was like one of my favorite calls because he was like, you can hear he's quoting me, like these things that he was telling to me, like when's the best time to plant a tree? 10 years ago, the second best time is now. I said that during one of the podcasts, and he said, like you said, you know what I mean? So this person is very, very invested, right? So it's a very qualified lead. And that's what you want. You want highly qualified leads.
Second best time is now, baby.
now. So here's where we're at. I'm at the now.
Yeah, perfect.
So he basically has already sold himself on why he wants to get started now. It's very important. There are three main objections, okay? There's the objection of, I don't have the money. There's a second objection is, okay, I need to think about it. And there's a third objection, which is, I need to speak to my wife, girlfriend, my plants or whatever it is, right? So actually the idea of the sales call before you get in to the pitch or anything is you want to handle all three of them beforehand, right? But this person has already sold himself basically, right? He's like, I want to get started now. There's no waiting for it, right? I have the money and I don't need to speak to anyone. I'm going to make the decision, right? But if you're talking to someone who's not as qualified as this prospect, then what you want to do is you want to basically go over those things with them. Why do you want to get started now? Do you have the money to invest? You don't ask it like that, obviously, but you'll probably ask it like, how much do you need to make in order for you to replace your income? Are you the sole decision maker when it comes to these business ventures, or do you need to consult with your girlfriend, wife, etc.? So those are like the questions that you basically want to handle right, beforehand, before you get to the pitch. Because if you get to the pitch and you don't have those covered, then what happens is they're going to bring those up and you will need to handle them then, right? So you're better off covering before. But I was just lucky with this person.
We all can help each other in a way, so I just wanted to feel out what it is that we can do for each other.
Yeah, dude, I really like where you are right now, and like, it seems to me that you're very balanced in a very like this balanced position where you have a main income, so you're not going to be stressing about where do I get my next meal from. It seems like you have a few extra hours, a few extra bucks that you can put into this. And yeah, where are you from in the US, by the way?
Originally, I'm from New Mexico.
Okay.
I've moved all around the U.S. and actually I'm calling you from Alabama today.
Alabama, okay, cool, yeah. And you said that you're not necessarily looking to make 100K, but an extra 3 to 5K would do good. What exactly would that, you think would do?
Yeah, so for me, an extra 3 to 5,000 is basically kind of would be a supplemental income for now.
Yeah.
And that would allow me to. I'd like to travel. I work the East Coast sales for a software company.
Okay.
So if I could travel anywhere in the kind of East Coast Central Time Zone for a while and not have to worry about finances and kind of just travel the world, an extra 3 to 5,000 while doing my main job.
Yeah.
And then adding this to it, I think for a while would be great until eventually I could do this full time.
Right. You said supplemental income, so that means that you are making anywhere from 3 to 5K from your main job.
Correct.
Right. Okay. That's a good start. Perfect. And what do you think is like holding you back? Because you've been a listener of the podcast, right? So you probably know lots. You know as much as I do about except for like a few little extra like tricks and secrets. Like what do you think is holding you back from really doing it yourself? Why do you want to mentor?
So this question I now usually ask it like the first question, like, what motivated you to book the call? What's holding you back, right? Because basically identifying their pain point, identifying their problem is the most powerful thing you can do, right? People buy a transformation, okay? They're in a current state. There's something that is bothering them about the current state, whether they don't like their boss, they don't like their job, they don't have too much, they don't have enough time, they don't make enough, they want to make more money, they're overweight, they don't feel good, whatever it is, right? So they're buying a transformation, from going from point A to point B, right? So it's very important to ask like, what motivated you to book the call? What's holding you back? So they can say to themselves, what is their problem? Is it a knowledge gap? Is it like a procrastination thing? Is it whatever it is, you need to identify that, right? And the sooner you identify, the better. And the deeper you go, also the better. You're like a doctor, basically. You're looking for different signs, right? And then you can, put those things together and you can get a better picture about the person, right? And can you even help them in the first place? And if you can, how?
Well, for me, listen, I can go and make all of the mistakes on my own.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But for me, as somebody who has been a sales trainer, who has been a physical trainer, what do you call it? Not a therapist, what's the word I'm looking for? Personal trainer, excuse me.
Right.
And having trained other people, I can give you kind of what it is that I think you should do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can show you in detail how it works, what it looks like, and then for them to place their particular spin on it.
Yeah.
So George, I could leave here today, of course, and start it and really get the implementation going. But I guess the thing that's not necessarily holding me back, but I would like to, at least for the first few videos, contracts, keyword research. I mean, I have my niches that I thought might work versus niches that maybe actually would work. And so that's kind of the in-between, right? So everyone knows that they should be working out, eating well, doing all of these things, right? But it's the implementation that makes the people winners, that makes the CEOs, and that's kind of where we're at now, is getting that implementation together. Yeah,
I couldn't agree with you more, because basically Ron and I, we follow this motto of like, give away everything, give away like 100% of your knowledge, and then sell the implementation, right? So literally what you said, give away knowledge and sell the implementation. You know, we don't hold anything back. Kind of a little bit sometimes. I don't want to give away all the topics and all the niches that I'm doing, of course, but the good thing is that in the private community that we have organized, right, the paid one, that's where we share basically just everything, right? All the channels, all of that is there. But hey, listen, Jacob, on everything you said, I think like you're the perfect candidate for this. I couldn't go anywhere. Like I love working with people who come from the podcast because like it feels like you guys know me, and it's just the best. Really, it's so easy as well. So if you want, I can show you a little bit of the things on the back end. I can show you our private school.
You can see how inexperienced and how like I didn't do any selling. I didn't go through any questions, like nothing. I just had like this. And I thought to myself, wow, I'm so good. No, I was just getting like very qualified leads. But yeah, like I know better now. But this just shows the power of qualified leads as well. You know, I just talked a little bit. He kind of told me, you know, what he wants. And then literally 8 minutes and 47 seconds in, I'm already like, hey, like if you want, I can show you what we have going on, right? And the person bought, so.
The course, the community, and yeah, then just walk you through the presentation. Sounds good?
Please do, go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So, first things first, let me actually show you the where we are hosted. So what is it that, you know, you're getting into, right? So this is basically, it's called school.com.
So I'm gonna skip this part for now where I'm doing the presentation and the offer. I'm gonna post this whole, if you wanna look at the whole sales call without my commentary, it's gonna be on this channel as well. But I'm just gonna go straight to the closing, to the pitch part, because I think that's where it becomes interesting.
Well, I guess I'm good with like, yes.
Get asked.
How are the video going? What are you struggling with? What I bring to the weekly coaching calls is I bring, you know, $300-$500, and where to really start, right? Like everything are gonna make on the group coaching. The first one we will like do the work calm. Outside his YouTube channel, easy peasy, Mr. Breezy. 2 weeks, we already own her. To the video being published, including the.
You're definitely somebody I would enjoy working with.
Yeah.
So I guess my next question is, do you accept a credit card? Can I just kind of swipe this and get
You're someone I would enjoy working with. Where can I swipe my credit card? So this is minute 31, right? I want to see where I name the price.
I want to play by the big boy rules. This is school.com. That's what I showed you. Drop any question you want. We'll get back to you. Bounce ideas. It's really like a small circle. We have Julio, we have Christina, we have Ashaz. Great. Everyone is great. you will like it when you meet them, okay? So that's great. And then you also get an accountability partner. So this is basically, you will be assigned an accountability partner, in my opinion. It's 3% support, valued at $1,997. So you'll never feel alone in your search journey. Support the community, ready to help you and give you personal advice, right? You drop your question, within 24 hours, we're gonna get back to you, okay? So yeah, everything here is valued at $25,982.
So I'm now doing the value stack.
But you can get started today for just $2,997.
So you can get started for $2,997, minute 20, minute 19, and then minute 31. That's when he was like, okay, where can I swipe my credit card? So that was like 12 minutes of either objection handling or questions, but let's go through it, what actually happened, because I don't remember.
How does that sound, Jacob?
How does that sound? And then you shut up, right? You let them talk.
excellent, beautiful. I like the presentation. I enjoy the benefit to value statements. Great job. Right? Allowing you to for the today pricing. You have read your sales books, my friend.
Thank you so much.
When you get a compliment from a guy who does sales for, as a full-time job, like I was like, okay, maybe the value stack part is okay, but obviously the first part was not that good.
Enjoyable.
Thank you, Jacob.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. I want to play by the big boy rules. If you're gonna go out in the jungle, you want to be the big ape.
Exactly. No, all of this seems great, for sure.
Yeah.
And of course, so this, as you're talking about the today price, obviously when we get a chance to move forward, this will be paid via lump sum, and then for that point, I'll have you guys, if I can just reiterate, for the next 6 months, mentorship until I attain $3,000.
Yes.
Get access to all of your sites. I'm going to get access to accountability partners and everything inside of this program.
Yes.
And then this is a one-time purchase for the net, which I guess will allow that access for the next 6 months only.
No, that's not correct. It's lifetime access. The mentorship is 6 months, but I want to emphasize that we are going to continue working with you beyond the 6 months.
Yeah, so basically what I'm emphasizing is that our program is results based, which is true, which is, it's not a time-based thing. We do these calls, these coaching calls anyways, right? So we want to get our initial, students to those big results. So we're offering them this like one-time opportunity where it's like, hey, if you sign up today, we're going to continue working with you until you get to like 3K per month, because we know it's going to take time with the vehicle that we are selling. So that's why we're having that as well. And for them, it's like lifetime access. You can join group coaching calls. They basically get invited to our like inner circle and get access to us.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. That's our offer. What do you say?
That's a great pitch. Okay, so what do we do moving forward, and typically what are the first steps after obviously procuring your services?
Yeah.
So here it's like, okay, so a 3K lump sum payment, right? This person really wants to get in, right? But a 3K, it's like always this what you want, right? And what you need to give in return for that, right? So giving money is like painful, right? That causes pain. But what you get in return is what you want, right? So, you want to eat, so you pay money for that, right? Now, this person is not ready to like right away, like the first minute I name the price, oh, just sign me up, right? They want to kind of talk a little bit, go through some more details, understand, so that's what I'm going to go into. They basically need a little bit of time to settle in with the investments.
When and how fast should we start, and what are usually the typical maybe hiccups along the beginning of this journey, and kind of maybe fill me in with those?
Yeah, for sure. So here is how we do it. So first things first, first we need to get you signed up, okay? So how that happens, we put the payment through, you send me your email, or I have your email, and then with that, I'm gonna add you to school.com. Once you're in school.com, the first thing is you need to go through the course at your own pace, okay? This is go at your own pace type course, okay? It's not a race, it's a marathon, we take our time. You go through the course, take notes, very important because there's a lot, okay? Second thing, don't get overwhelmed by the amount of things that you're gonna learn, okay? And step number 3 is do step number 1, which is do the actual thing, okay? So then once you go through the course and you have the notes, you're gonna have questions, okay? So there are 2 ways, right? You can drop questions in the
I don't even know what I'm saying. Like, okay, a lot of the times is you don't need to, make that much sense with your words. Like, really. I know it sounds really dumb when it comes to sales, but I really feel like a lot of the times, obviously your words they can't be just gibberish, right? They need to have some kind of logical order to them. But a lot of the times, it's not the words you say, it's how you say them and how you make the other person feel. Right? So the first idea is to make sure to put their reptilian brain at ease, right? So they feel psychological comfort with you, which then is going to be like, okay, I can trust this person, right? So your intonation, your tone of voice, your hand gestures, everything, how long you talk, your pacing, like your volume, all of that matters. All of that matters. Much more than actual words you say. So even if the words may sound like not logical to you right now,
the community, that's number 1. Number 2 is you can jump on the group coaching call, which happens every Wednesday, right? Obviously, you will do both, right? So then once you have that, the first step is going to be going after the YouTube channel. Once we have the YouTube channel, then we're going to go over the transfer of ownership. Then we're going to go over the creation of the freelancing team, topic research, putting the systems in place and all of that, right? Ron is really fucking good with the systems, and I guess I'm good with like creative, thinking like, how can I sell a private jet with a YouTube video? Like that's kind of my crazy thinking there, So we bring both of that to the table.
what I realize now, by the way, I'm just good at talking. That's what I'm good at. That's my strong side. I'm good at talking with people. That's it. Whether it's in person, on the phone, that's it. That's the strength.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like You know, there are things we have to think over and make sure that this is the right setup for me and you.
Of course.
Tell me how maybe your offer.
He needs to be sold more. That's the thing. Like now I'm looking and I'm like, oh, like I could have done such a better job. But obviously in hindsight, yeah. But when you're in the moment, it's different.
Is different from some of the other maybe YouTube mentors that I can find.
Yeah.
You know, how many of your team of 8 are moving towards a successful, 3,000 to 5,000 roughly income, and why is it that maybe some people do a little better or do a little worse?
Yeah. Okay. So there are 3 parts.
He wants to get confidence in that this is going to work for him. That's what he wants. So that my job is to basically explain how he can do that.
This, number 1, how are we different? Number 2, how are the students, the existing ones, are doing right now? And the third one was...
I'm repeating the questions back to him, but I don't know if that's necessary or not. Because he's going to say, like, start with the first one, I think.
Oh, we'll just go with those 2. Those are really the main ones.
Perfect. So, why are we different? That's a good question. The reason why we're different is because we are actually there for you. Like, we're actually present. So, like, honestly speaking, Jacob, the advantage you get working with us over other people is we are actually present. So, for example, I'm friends with most of the people in the space, right?
So here you can see that I've shifted into a different, like now when he asks, okay, sell me yourself, like why should I work with you? That's when the energy shifted, and that's where you can see I kind of moved in. I brought the computer closer and I'm like, all right, now I'm going to sell myself to you, why you should work with us.
Like most other mentors in the YouTube automation space.
First, I'm building authority. Hey, I know all the guys in the space, right? Like,
and I can tell you, like, they're not present. They have other coaches who go in and do the group coaching calls and whatever. We are actually there. Like I can show you the school thing here.
So I'm basically selling the idea, which is true, that I'm emphasizing the idea that it's us doing the work, right? It's not like we just kind of sell and then we have coaches who do the work for us, the coaching work. No, we actually do the coaching work ourselves. So I'm emphasizing that and I'm saying, hey, if you compare us to the big guys, right? They don't do that. They have coaches, right? So you get personal one-on-one. What you see is what you get.
The group coaching calls. So if we go to the classroom and we go to the coaching calls, and we've been doing them for a while. We've been doing them for like a year now because we've been like going back and forth. So this is Ron doing it with the last one with her.
Yay. We're live.
Yeah, so there we have it. Julio and Christina are here. Then the call before that, it was them here as well. Julio, Christina, me, and Ron.
Doing this, but it's you, baby.
Yeah, so it's actually us, And I think that's one of the biggest advantages, right? And of course, and it's like we have this day one mentality. I don't know if you've heard about Jeff Bezos talks about it. Like we have this day one mentality of like keeping things small. And then if it works at a small scale, we can always figure out how to grow it as well, right? So that's the one thing. And in terms of the success rate, we have some wins, so I can also share them with you here as well. It's always so nice to see people actually like go after these. So
if you're selling something where you already have like people where people go through the transformation already, like. Obviously, it's easier to sell something where you already have a lot of testimonials and stuff, right? If you're just starting out, that will be hard. Like, I'm not going to lie. It's going to be hard because people are going to be like, okay, why should I be certain that you can deliver the transformation, right? Can you show that you've delivered this transformation to others, right? So that's why in the beginning stages, it's the easiest thing is to say, okay, you know what? 5 people, I'm going to just do it for free. I'm going to basically, test my system, right? And prove to first myself and then to others if this system actually works, right? And I'm doing this for free. And the only thing I'm asking in return is for a testimonial. That's it. Right? So you do that for the first 5 people. And then if you have a testimonial, then you can just say that, you can be like, yeah, These are the people that I've delivered the results for. This is the transformation. You can see I worked for them for free for the testimonial, and now I'm starting to charge because my system is working. Like, that's it. People just want to see proof that it's working.
We have, yeah, there we are. We have Julio here.
So I'm being honest and I'm sharing the actual wins in the community. So I'm not, giving some unrealistic things. Like, I'm just literally, I share my screen, I go to school, I look at the timeline, and I'm like, all right. And then I'm just now basically saying what happens.
He wants to share this exciting milestone in the YouTube journey with all of you. So I've officially bought my monetized YouTube channel. There are still 5 days left for me to get primary ownership of the channel. Until then, I'll start working on my next step. Right?
It might feel that when you're selling someone on 3K, for example, or 5K, right, that they want to see like proof of someone doing 100K per month, right? But matter of fact, people just want to see at least small wins, Obviously, big wins probably help. But even if, you have people like, oh, look, like our community member has, posted his first video, or look, he made his first $1. That's already like for them, oh, wow, okay, like I have hope.
Right, so this Julio was going through the course and he had so many questions and he was overwhelmed with a lot of it. And like on the group coaching, the first one, we were like, Julio, drop everything, do step number 1, get the channel, right? And then so he was like, oh my God, you guys, it was so helpful. Like, the fact that you told me to focus and just do the first thing. So now he has the channel. That's a big win, And then once you have the channel, then you start putting the systems in place.
And oftentimes what I find as well is people are not necessarily looking for like super step-by-step how-to guide. Like, people are generally smart. Like, they will figure out the how-to and the step-by-step. What they're lacking a lot of times is self-belief that they can actually do it themselves, right? They need someone to like actually motivate and give them hope, And the third is just to like encourage them, and of course also give like, yeah, you're on the right track, or no, you're not on the right track. Like, that's what a coach does, So, for example, with that Julio example case, he started watching the course, and then he was like, oh, affiliate marketing, and we were like, do you even have the channel yet? He's like, no. I'm like, all right, first things first. And then I recommended a book which is called The One Thing by Gary Keller. He read that and he liked it. So a lot of times it's actually the mental things that you're like helping people to do, overcoming procrastination, overcoming something to do with, their limiting beliefs, like those things. Those are the real things that are holding people back. The step-by-step how-to things are not that, especially in this thing, like it's not rocket science.
Of course, the topics and everything, right? But I can show you a little bit more here in the community. So we have the community is great. Like, school is great. Ron shares stuff all the time. I share as well. Coaching call. Yeah, finishing the course. What else? We have Christina asking. Leonardo joined recently, so he's been asking a lot of questions.
Yeah, we didn't have much going on at that time, so it was like we were basically getting people in because they really trusted us from the podcast.
We have discussion here. It's very active, and it's also, people are a little bit like, we are marketing to a little bit on the older side, because we've noticed we've noticed that people who listen to our podcast are on the older side, and people who are joining, who wants to work with us, are also on the older side. And it's interesting to work, people who are older than us, right? And it's interesting because as you get older, you become more calm and more grounded, and so you're not so sporadic, I think is the word, like jumping all the time. You can actually do the work calmly, right? And that's what we really appreciate. That's what we're all about as well. So that's the thing. Jacob, questions?
This is better. You see, like, questions, right? And that's what I usually do lately now. I'm like, before I go to the pitch, before I go to the sales, I'm like, all right, tell me, how do you feel? What questions do you have, right? I want them to feel 10 out of 10 with me. I don't want the sales call to feel like this structured, cold thing. No, like, I want to establish a relationship with the person. I want to understand, how do they feel? What questions do they have? Because you need to understand the other person. So now I'm just a lot more calm because I have a lot more experience as well. But it's like, all right, so how are we feeling right now, Jacob? Where are we from 1 to 10? An 8 or 7? Oh, 7? That's not too good. How can we get you to a 10? What questions do you have? What's on your mind? Tell me. And then you just listen. You just listen. That's it.
It looks great. I appreciate the answers.
Yes.
Alongside this initial investment for you as a mentor, what is typically the first month investment if I'm going to have to purchase a monetized channel?
Yeah.
And then roughly, if say for instance I'm going all in and I do 100 plus videos,
Yeah.
around what does that typically look like?
Yeah.
Just so I can kind of start putting together a price timetable.
Yeah. Good question. So what we're looking at is a monetized YouTube channel is $50.
Whoa.
Yep.
That's
That usually takes people like aback a lot. So you want to have something like that they don't expect. That's gonna basically make it easier for them to, you know, like a very small win that they can already see in their head. Like, oh, that's easy. I can do that.
fine.
Yeah.
So it's answering the question like I can get started right away, basically.
$50 for a monetized YouTube channel, easy peasy, Mr. Breezy. 2 weeks, you already own her. It's just the thing with the YouTube. That's how long it takes for them to transfer. And in terms of the recurring monthly investment into the team and into the content, okay? So that really depends on how fast you want to run, okay? If you want to go fast, you can put more money. If you want to go slow, you can put less, right? Obviously. What we are looking at, what I recommend doing minimum is $200 to $300 per month. Okay, that's what I'm really like. $200 to $300 per month is gonna give you that good start of about 100 videos a month, right? If you have I'm right now paying about $3 a video. I think Ron is paying about $3 a video right now. So if you're spending like $300 a month at $3, you're publishing about 100 videos, and that I mean from like keyword to the video being published, including the thumbnail and everything. So roughly that. And then as the channel starts growing and as you start to like get revenue in, the best part is that it starts to pay for itself. Like you start to get money, and that money is going to start paying for this like cumulative growth, basically, you know. And then as the revenue exceeds how much you spend per month, that's when you start to go into the green, and that's when you start to actually generate profit.
So one thing I want to talk here about, or like I want to mention, is you want to understand how the person thinks, okay? So if you are dealing with someone who is a very logical kind of Excel sheets type of person, like step by step, you know, German type of person, right? I'm generalizing here, but you know what I mean, right? Then you want to talk their language, you know? You want to be more structured, more organized, like that, right? If you're talking to someone who's more on like the, you know, like emotion side, more on the feeling side, right? Like I had a call with a girl the other day. She was all about that, you know. She was all about like good vibes and feeling good. Like then you just want to adjust like that. You want to be like a chameleon, right? You want to change your color depending on who you talk to.
The channel, and that's the best feeling. That's pretty good. It's pretty sweet. And the best part,
I'm sorry, continue.
yeah, and the best part is that like once you reach with search, right? Because you know already, it's very consistent, right? It's kind of like this real estate that once it ranks, it ranks. You don't need to feed money to the videos in order for them to generate. It's like, okay, the video ranked, boom, it's gonna print some money basically every day, right?
And you can see right here, I started to talk his language. If you remember at the very beginning of the call, right, he talked about, oh, like you mentioned, it's digital real estate, right? That's what we were basically saying. And then here, it's no surprise that on minute 31, like he was like, okay, close me, like let's put the payment through. It's because I said, like you understand, this is digital real estate and blah, blah, blah. So I talked back his language and then clicked for him. Like I reminded him of why he is excited about this idea.
And once you have the backlog of videos that is printing the money, right? And let's say, for example, like you want to stop for 3 months and you just want to collect money. That's fine. You are certain that if your channel is making 5K and you just pause the production of everything for the next 3 months, you're going to collect 15K. That's the beautiful part about it. Yeah. So first grow, and then you can pause and you can collect money. That's the best one.
Collecting money is nice. I know you said it before. Making your first dollar online is a whole other feeling.
Have you gotten your first dollar online?
No, not
What?
You see, like that's something that I needed to get to the bottom of. You know, if I would have gotten to the bottom of this earlier, I would have it would have been a different dynamic. You know, like you said, he said, like you said, making your first dollar online is an amazing feeling. And I'm like, wait, have you made a dollar? No. Bam! So I should be selling him on the feeling of how it is to make your first dollar online.
This is what I talk to people all day, try to save them time, a little bit of money. That's why personally, I was so very fond of. I'm sure you've got plenty of sales books. Your value add, your social proof, all of these things that you have inside of this pitch today.
Yeah.
Spot on, dude. Really, really enjoyable. And a quick question: how old are you?
I am 27, turning 28.
Look at you, man, entrepreneur.
How old are you, Jacob?
I just turned 37 this year.
37. Okay, so we have a 10-year difference. A lot of my friends are older, by the way, as well.
Old soul.
Yeah.
Everything here today, I very much appreciate. I've been very appreciative of you just taking time. Listen, I know you're a businessman. I know you understand the entrepreneur mindset.
Yeah.
I'm very well read and moving forward, and you're definitely somebody I would enjoy working with.
Yeah.
So I guess my
So this also brings me to this important thing is that the people on the call, they're not necessarily buying the vehicle, right? They are buying you. They trust that you as a person, they are going to enjoy working with you. They trust you and they believe that whatever it is that you are preaching, your vehicle, they will be able, of course they need to, the vehicle needs to make logical sense and they need to be excited about it, right? But they're not buying the vehicle. They're buying you, right, as this person and whatever it is that you're preaching, right? That's what it is. So you need to establish trust and they need to be comfortable working with you. They need to see themselves being like, yeah, I like this guy or this girl and I want to work with them.
My next question is, do you accept a credit card? Can I just kind of swipe this and get it going? Or what's the payment system look like?
Jacob?
I'm like, Bob, Jacob, let's get you signed up.
Say no more. We will get you signed up. We
Say no more.
accept everything.
Send you some Dogecoin.
No. Only not Dogecoin. Yeah. So,
Once you're done, once you've sold, stop selling. Don't keep selling once you're sold. That's the one thing I learned as well.
the way I usually do this is, I do this on the call. And by the way, the thing you said about making your first dollar, I am so looking forward to that, by the way.
Stop. Don't do that.
It's like...
This is literally what I do all day. Payment links.
Amen things.
I feel better about myself after this call.
Because he was basically giving me compliments on how well I did, but I think he was just trying to maybe make me feel better. Because looking back at this now, I didn't do that good of a job. But hey, it's closed, payment is done, right? And then
I get it.
let me actually skip to where the part is.
Favorite sales professionals that you enjoy following.
Right. But in terms of... We have...
Me to verify it.
Okay, perfect.
From the YouTube business. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just... Yeah.
What's wrong today?
Yeah, Jacob, I can confirm the payment is on my end. What I'm gonna do now is let me plug you into the, school.
And here I think I'm gonna say congratulations.
Wow, you should now receive the invite. And Jacob, congratulations on joining the Search Mastery. I'm very excited for you. Let's get this party started. And I'm looking forward to seeing you after tomorrow on the first group coaching call.
So yeah, once you're done, just congratulate them, thank them. Awesome, right decision. I can't wait to get started with you. This is gonna be, good. Let's do this together. And then, okay, talk to you soon. Bye. That's it. Thank you. Let me know what you think about this call. Remember, the full version is on the channel as well. Leave your comments down below. What I could have done better. Yeah. By the way, if you want me to coach you on the selling, on the effective communication. I'm also going to have a link down in the description to schedule a call with me. Okay, it's a sales strategy session with your boy George. Okay, so if you want to get better at sales, if you want to, increase your price point that you sell, if you want to, learn how to sell, if you want to just communicate better, if you want to learn how to communicate non-verbally, right? If you want to know how to say gibberish but still make sense and still get people excited about stuff, you've come to the right place. Book the call and let's talk. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.